Welcome into the Film Guy Network. It's football season, which means I've got a film study for you. What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday evening is when we're recording this. I think we're going to release this Wednesday morning. So for you Penn State, Notre Dame football fans, we are about 24 hours away upon watching this from you two teeing it up in the Orange Bowl down there in not-so-Miami. They're going to trick you. They're going to trick you into thinking that one's down in Miami, folks, until you get down there and you're like, wait a minute, this ain't Miami. But we got a great film study for you guys prepared today. We've looked at that Notre Dame defense ad nauseum over the last several weeks on this network and had a tremendous amount of praise for those guys. Today, we're going to look at their opponent, okay, the unit that they're going to be playing against, this Penn State offense. I thought most people probably watched that performance against Boise State, opponent be damned, and probably thought that was one of the more impressive offensive performances from Penn State in recent memory. And they've had two in a row, to be honest with you, not even to do the recent memory thing. I thought they played relatively well against Oregon as well. It was more of a defensive effort that was the problem to start that football game against the Ducks. Super excited to do this with you guys today. I'll be honest, of all of the quarterbacks left, I think Drew Aller has potentially the highest ceiling of them all, but there are some things that we're going to show you on tape that he just lacks the general, like we talked about on this network last night, down-to-down consistency at the quarterback position required to play it at its highest levels. Super excited to do this with you guys today. We got a couple of rules around here, okay? If you learn anything about the game of football, you must subscribe. If you learn anything about your favorite football team, you must subscribe. If you have any fun at all today, you must subscribe. We got a saying, let's shut up and let's grind the tape. We're getting into a rhythm on these, Kurt. We're getting into a rhythm, and the reason being, we've dumped like 35 of these jokers at this point. It feels like just in the last month or so, I feel like we've been rattling these off. Normally, we just do about 2 a week. I think this is the 5th one this week alone, okay? Let me fix my monitor over here so I can see my ugly self. I see what you guys are seeing here in the monitor. All right, let's get after it. We're going to open up the football game. Look, here's the deal. When you go to play Penn State and when you go to study for Penn State, the number one thing you're going to have to worry about is number 44. Where is he? Where have they tried to hide him? What are they trying to do with him? Okay, and you're going to spend all week talking about Tyler Warren. Guys, he's 6'6". He's 255 pounds. Former high school quarterback. He's a great athlete. They're going to talk about him all week long. Okay, and you're going to get prepared, and he's going to draw all your eyes and attention. And not only is the offensive coordinator from Penn State going to have a bunch of winners for him, he's also going to have his portion of his offense dedicated to players that are going to get the ball because you've spent all week talking about Tyler Warren. This is a prime example right here out of 12 personnel. And first and foremost, guys, if you're a Notre Dame fan watching this today, these types of personnel packagings, I think is what you're going to get majority of from Penn State. I don't think they want to be an 11 personnel. Reason being, they know you're going to play a lot of cover one in those more spread formations. They're not going to win those against you guys. However, these two tight ends against what most of the time 12 personnel is going to force zone coverage, I think they're going to favor those matchups when they go into the game plan. So I expect, or at least I would, if I was Penn State's offensive coordinator, we'd be eating out of 12 personnel. Okay, so here we go. Like I said, you're going to spend all week trying to stop this guy, and all they're going to do is run him up the field and use his attention to get other people open. Watch how these two defenders respond to number 44, because why wouldn't you? This is their best football player. Watch them. They're both going to shrink on him. He's going to have to run up underneath Warren to get to the tight end in the flat. Good little spacing concept right there from Penn State on a look. 2nd and 9 right here to start the football game. I love coordinators who on 2nd and 9 are willing to take 8, right? Willing to take 8 and be in 3rd and 2 instead of trying to get the full 9, 10, 12 yards, driving the ball down the field, all right, risking either a sack or an incompletion, being in a 3rd and long. Those aren't manageable situations. I like that the coordinator's not being too aggressive right here to start the football game because he wants to stay on his script, right? This is the 2nd play of the game. We had a net neutral football play to start the game. We're in 2nd and 9. Let's stay back on script. Let's get back on script and get to that first third and short winner that we've got in the play sheet. I think this is going to be an absolute war, Kirby, in the run game between these two football teams. The way Notre Dame has fit the run all year long, the way Penn State has attempted to run the ball consistently all year long, I think it's going to be a war. All right, this is power, but we got additional hats on the front side. They got 1, 2, and they're sending 3. Honestly, I wouldn't even call it power. I would almost call it pin and pull, right? We're blocking down here and we're pulling around on the outside. But you see how much of a unique way they get to it, right? Most teams are running pin and pull nowadays out of truck toss or doing it with offensive linemen. This team right here doing it with one offensive lineman, a tight end, and the additional running back right there, okay? But here's where I continued after watching Notre Dame over and over the last several weeks. I continued settling on this point, Kirby. They will not play the run this poorly, okay? I thought not only was Boise State outmanned in this football game, it's some of the worst gap assignment football that we've paid attention to with regards to stopping the run. They just did not do a good enough job fitting these run fits, all right? Like this right here from this safety right here. Watch this guy here, all right? Now, we are trying at some point, we got to set an edge and turn this ball back inside. Watch this safety play this back to the inside of this lead blocker right here, okay? Allowing that crease and allowing that lane out there outside the red line, all right? This is what we call the red line, by the way, boys and girls. These are the numbers. That's the sideline. This is the red line. If you go out to a college football field or a college practice field, Kirby, you will see the lacrosse layout on the field. That red line is the lacrosse layout. We use it in football to beat certain coverages with certain routes, okay? Maybe we'll find an example of that on this film study. I highly doubt it, okay? Like this right here. Again, another improper run fit from Boise State. And guys, apart from looking at Allard today, this is going to be the theme of this because this is what you got to do when you go play Penn State. You're going to have to stop the run. So Boise not doing a very good job early to start the football game, all right, getting to these proper run fits. Running inside zone right here, all right, with the tight end creasing off the backside. So these two guys should be doubling up here. These two guys should be doubling up here. We're a solo block out there. We're trying to get our head inside of that nickel defender right there, putting us one-on-one, presumably, with the safety right here. But the problem to me is this right here. Okay, the problem to me is a defensive lineman and a linebacker stacked right up behind each other before the ball carrier even takes the full handoff. I hate how these two guys are stacked upon each other, okay, before the running back even declares into a hole. This is the definition on this channel of putting two guys in one defensive assignment, or as we call around here, putting two Ds in a hole. That's what it looks like on tape, and no shit, there are creases created, okay? We have holes in our defense because we're putting too many guys in one of them. Who's going to win these routes, or who's going to win these types of plays in this football game? I believe this is it's a wide zone right here from these guys, all right? And Boise State, again, fails to turn this ball back inside, and it hits on the outside and gets vertical at the last second. All right, I don't believe Notre Dame's linebackers and second-level defenders to ever misplay these. All right, they're never going to overrun it, underrun it. They're never going to allow creases typically. Now, what I do expect out of this matchup, Kirby, is several runs from Penn State on wide zone where it's a +1 or +2 yard gain, and then all of a sudden they spring one for 9, or all of a sudden they spring one for 12. Very akin to what we've seen Texas do against really good football teams against the run. The box score in this football game might say Penn State runs the football successfully, but how many times can Notre Dame put this offense in 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11? That's the real question going into this football game. It will ultimately depict their success on 3rd down, okay? You can see this from the tight. I don't know why we can't keep our outside arm free as a defensive line right now from Boise State. I get they're outmatched. I get these Penn State guys can be a little bit holdy, if you will. They got called for several in this football game. But where is the outside arm from this guy right here? Great job right here from Tyler Warren. Watch him deliver this block to his right tackle, allow his right tackle to get that crease, and now he's going to work out to the alley defender and kick him. Now we have that crease right there. Great job by Katron Allen. I don't think I've seen a single misread from this kid in the last 2 or 3 games, Kirby. He is pressing every hole. He is being patient when need be. He's hitting the gas when he needs to. I mean, they knew what they had. And this is what made the short yardage play calling really, really weird to me in this football game. They were mowing over these dudes, what we call off tackle. Everything off tackle in this football game, they were absolutely working this football team. Now, my question is, I don't know how many teams have done that to Notre Dame this year. I felt like when USC creased them, they creased them with counter. They creased them with gap schemes in between the tackles, okay? Not necessarily running around this Notre Dame unit, all right? So we'll see how this works. But this isn't like end-around jet sweep running around you. No, this is running outside zone at you. This is running stretch right at your face, getting good seals, getting good movement at the front or the point of the attack, okay, and getting on. So what are we talking about with seals? This is a good, hard seal. We all see that between the left guard, or excuse me, the center and now the left guard, now working up to the front side inside linebacker. Okay, that's a good seal. Now, good movement at the point of the attack. What is the point of the attack? Offensively, we call it the point of the attack where we're running the football. Defensively, you might call that your edge. We are getting moved right now as a defense at the point of the attack. We're getting sealed here. We're getting moved here. Guess what we're going to have? We're going to have a crease there, okay? But this is what I'm talking about, again, from Boise State with these terrible, terrible run fits. I don't understand what they were doing. They're going to get jet motion right here from Penn State. It's going to bump the stack. You're going to see the either the corner or the nickel, whoever it is, condense into the formation and now get put into run support. We all see number 0 right there. Now, number 0 is going to have to run downhill and fill an alley right now, but what he's not smart enough to do and what he's not used to doing is watching the crack replace come across his face. So watch the wide receiver flash in front of your screen right now. All right, that is the crack from the wide receiver coming. They have another guy going outside to kick his replacement of a defender. All right. So as a safety, we got to have our head on a swivel. We got to either run through contact, avoid contact. What we can't do is bubble up underneath contact. Back's too fast. We're going to give up a crease. And Jesus Christ, corner, can we make a tackle? How many missed tackles did you see from Notre Dame in that last football game, Kirby?
Very little.
I'm going to go as far as to say 0. I can't remember a single Georgia football player making a guy miss. I'm not counting the Dylan Bell. I mean, Dylan stepped out of bounds on the back shoulder fade. But he did make that guy miss on the sideline. This is how good of a tackling team, guys, they are. We didn't just watch it on TV copy. We watched every single offensive snap. And right here, to a man, can't remember a single guy making a dude miss. They're a good open field tackling football team. They're certainly not this. That's the point to be proven right there. All right, the D tackle right here is also a major problem. We cannot do this. We can't turn sideways, floating back this way when the guy's trying to seal us. And it looks to me like he's gassed, to be honest with you. We've got to be able to get some pressure and some fire up off the snap. This is Drew Allard, I believe's first throw of the football game. Okay, first throw of the football game. They're going to motion Tyler Warren in, and he's running the back line dig. Okay, he's going to run that route across that back line. He's going to keep floating as long as it takes. All right, Allard's going to work to his right and put this ball up in the air. Again, I think this is the first ball he throws all day, Christian.
I think it's his second.
Second ball he throws all day, maybe a 5-yard screen or something like that. Oh, no. The second play of the game. You're right. He threw a little hitch to the tight end. We showed it. I'm an idiot. That's that ADD brain coming in. That's the CTE brain coming in. Either way, this is the second ball of the day. And look at this. Look at the touch on that. Look at the placement on that. That's the stuff right there. Okay? That's the stuff.
How much time he has.
I know. He's got ample time in the world. And look, these guys couldn't rush. They couldn't cover. They couldn't stop the run. And this would be the other thing. And Penn State fans that have found this, they're going to be like, man, he sure did talk up how good Notre Dame's defense is. I think you're going to get offensively maybe a false sense of confidence off of what you're watching here. It's just not, it's not the level of competition that you're about to see defensively. Okay, certainly the individual talent that Ashton Jeanty is great, but this defense is nothing like what they're going to see from Notre Dame. And I think a Penn State fan would admit that to a man. But if he's throwing balls like this, because I do think they're going to put the game at his feet, if he's throwing footballs like this, they're going to be hard to beat in this football game from Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame can score that many points if the opposite quarterback's throwing for 320 yards. Agree or disagree there, Curb?
Agreed.
Now, here's my question. Kirby, this is what we call P and 10 right here, this possession right here, this next play, okay? This is P and 10, I believe, the first possession of the drive. How do we end up looking like this on the first possession of the drive? Any answers? How are we not set? How is nobody on the ball? How are we giving up an explosive run on P and 10 not being ready to be on the snap? That's weird to me.
Unless they did a sugar huddle, but I don't think they did.
Yeah, I what I don't see here is the back judge sprinting out, you know? Actually, maybe they got a first down here. Is this the first play of the drive? This is P and 10? Okay. So how did we get caught up like this? Did they no huddle on you guys? This is the hard part about doing all 22 sometimes, okay? Because we don't have the TV copy. It looks like they're just playing fast. Okay. So worth the study point here, because I don't think Notre Dame hadn't seen this from Georgia all week last week. There was no immediate suddency, get on the ball, let's play with some pace right here. So be alert, something in the profile to get to know about this football team. I think these dudes are really, really big, and I think they're serviceable. These offensive linemen from Penn State. I've heard good things about this one, 71. I've seen them use him in a very unique way. It sounds like he's a super freak athletic-wise. Would you do me a favor so I don't get flamed by Penn State fans here? Will you just check general draft boards of offensive linemen and see how many Penn State guys are thrown in the mix there? Because I don't know how many first-round caliber football players we got going on this front. That being said, I think they play really good. I haven't watched a football game where I felt like Penn State's offensive line was just terrible. They play in unison as well. It's another example here of Boise just being outmatched. I just felt like they were way outmatched, both in the run game and then when we get into a situation like this where we're going to run this slot receiver up on your toes and break you off on a post, watch how fast this guy creates separation on him, okay? Now, look, I know Penn State's got Big Ten Power 5 weapons, but it ain't like they got the best weaponry group in this the playoffs left, okay? Probably third. I would put Notre Dame fourth, maybe, because they have Tyler Warren. Notre Dame doesn't have any of those types of freaks. But when you get put in a one-on-one situation like this and lose it this badly, all right, I don't know how many times you're going to get this from Notre Dame, though, because I think this is what you're going to get from Notre Dame. You ready? Now, you're still in 12 personnel, but you've spread out. The moment you do this, here's what I think you're getting from Notre Dame. I think you're getting a star right there. I think you're going to get a corner right here with safety help over the top. I think you're going to get another nickel over here and another corner over here, maybe a safety right here. And that's what the defense is going to look like. They're going to leave the middle of the field relatively open, or maybe put him in the middle and have him roll towards the sideline. But this idea that we're going to have, 8 yards of space over here and 10 yards of space to step up on his toes and break off, no, that's not how they play defense on the Notre Dame side of the football. It's a really hard, hey, this is how they played this, or this is how they looked against this defense, or this is what they look like against man coverage. This is what they look like when a team could take away the run from them. We don't have a recent example of that, of a defense doing that to Penn State because of what Oregon showed up and did defensively, and the fact of the matter is they played Boise State in the first round, so we don't have that type of comparison point. But my God, what a football. So big, so strong. The deep ball, we just got done watching Quinn Ewers yesterday, right, Kirby? The deep ball in this guy will never flutter. It will never duck, fart, nose up. It will always nose down with violence. Watch it from the wide here. Watch how fast or quickly this ball comes back into your screen and back down. Okay, that's the important part of these deep balls. Yeah, throw it 60 yards, but get that arc, man. Get that thing to come back down the trajectory of the field. Look at this thing. All right, there's the peak of it right now. All right. It's all the way out of your screen, and it's already at the 20. So it took this long to get all the way up here, and now it's about to right back down, okay? We want that sharp drop. The reason being, okay, we got these corners running and keeping their eyes on the defense or the wide receiver. The last thing they're trained to do is do that one right there. Guess who does that one all day long? Wide receivers during Indy drills when Georgia coaches are teaching them how to catch the football. Too much?
Nah.
Warranted?
Oh, yeah.
Warranted. Pretty ball. Pretty ball. Now, here's what flabbergasts me about this guy. Okay, we just watched that. Beautiful. You watch that shit and you're like, damn, this guy might play on Sundays for a while. And then you see this, okay? I think the concept we got working here is some type of dig back to the middle of the field. All right, you would think we want to tie our feet to our eyes if that is indeed the concept that we got working. Let me confirm the concept right here and make sure that is indeed where we're intending to go with the football. All right, it's actually the number 1 wide receiver who motions in, and he's running this in. And by the way, he's got a ton of grass in front of him right now. He looks really, really clean. The ball gets thrown underneath. All right, he dives, makes the catch. But watch this, okay? Watch this from the tight. And we talk all the time about tying our lower body to our upper body, tying our feet to our eyes. The reason being, wherever our eyes are going, all right, we play a game of suddency in football at the quarterback position and play a lot of zone coverage sometimes too. So when we see a guy running across the field and we're looking, if our feet aren't where our eyes are, when he becomes open and we're ready to throw, we have to throw now. If our feet aren't there, we're going to be late, okay? That's what you hear coach talk about, oh, you're late. This is an example of not tying our feet to our eyes. All he's doing right now is reading this safety. The moment he sees that safety bail out, he knows he's got this dig working back across the screen. So now you'll see him. He'll find his eyes on this dig. But what is our lower body doing right now? What is our lower body doing? I don't quite know, okay? And we kind of make that guy wait on that football, all right? I don't even know why we float off the midline in the first place. Why did we move left right there? We have no immediate pressure. Now, completion goes in the books as a first down. But if this ball's right here, Kirby, do we think we got maybe 10, 15 yards extra on that?
Easily.
Okay. Especially when it doesn't make any sense to do that. And then he does this, puts the ball on the turf. So we go from, damn, look at that ball, holy hell, to, ooh, we did not do a very good job tying our feet to our eyes, to, ooh, we jacked the mesh point up, ouch. You'd have to go like 5 or 6 games deep into a Notre Dame tape to find them beating themselves. Would you agree?
For sure.
I mean, they've played now, they ain't played nobody, Paul. They played really clean football for 2.5 months. I don't see stuff like this when I go watch Notre Dame on tape. I think this offense is far more explosive, though, so maybe they can find ways to overcome these types of things because, well, they have a mutant on their football team. I don't do I think he's going to get a lot of comparisons. He reminds me of Gronk, okay? And the reason being, he's so goddamn big. You don't realize how big this guy is. He's 6'6", 255. He's huge, okay? And he's really, really athletic. High points the football really, really well. I felt like Gronk was a little bit lumbersome as an athlete. Like it almost looked, especially towards the end of his career, looked like it hurt while he was moving, looked like he was really efforting. This guy's a smooth mover at his size, and that's even scarier, all right? But even when you beat him, you're not going to beat him. He's going to take care of 2 every once in a while. This is a great job by Boise's defense understanding what's happening to them. They're getting a screen, and we should have it licked. He's going to bounce you like a piñata, all right, and keep running. So there's a lot of people here, oh, great tight end nowadays, and they go, oh, is he Brock Bowers? No, but I think he's Gronk. I don't think he's got that, that Brock's got, but he's like 25 pounds heavier and 2 inches taller. Far bigger. Now, this is, again, what's confusing to me. It's 3rd and 3, and they out here getting hella tricky. When they've ran the ball relatively well at this point in the football game against these guys, they're trying to, again, go double pass screen back to Warren. Boise State, because all week, what did we talk about? All week we talked about, hey, eyes on 44, eyes on 44, eyes on 44. You're not going to be able to sneak him 2 plays in a row. All right, as much as I love the creativity from this Penn State offensive coordinator, and I think he's doing a really, really good job of doing what we call playing high school offense, okay? What is high school offense? That is not a disrespectful comment, okay? What that is when I go to these high school football games, as this goes to correct itself hopefully, when I go to these high school football games, okay, I see coordinators doing everything they can to get their best player of the football. That's what I watch from Penn State when I watch them on tape as well. They're doing absolutely everything they can to get number 44 the football and do so in an explosive manner. That's what good coordinators do, okay? And that's what good producers on air do. They just keep going on the fly. Here we go. Let's continue up to the next play right here, on to play number 20. Now, Boise State eventually figured out how to stop these stretch zone concepts and stop the run, but you see how they did it. Look at these bodies right here and tell me if they're not vulnerable to a little bit of play action, okay? Watch these guys right here. There is no reason or no secret as to why they began to have some success in stopping the run. Boys and girls, they were bailing out for it, all right? They were bailing out for it. Now, how are they doing it? Well, it looks to me like they're playing a little cover 3. All right, that butt to the sideline is telling me that. Looks like we've got a flat player here and a deep third player here. But what they are doing is they're playing with, 4 defensive backs and 7 players dedicated to the run. Hey, newsflash, guess who's doing that this week? Guess who's doing that Thursday night? Notre Dame's doing that Thursday night. They're going to take exactly how many pass options you have and add 1 to that and then dedicate every other body to the box, all right? Because they have the ability to do so with their ability to cover like they do. But even this is sloppy, to be honest with you. This is created by 2 players. All right, 92 right here defeats a block. 23 right here defeats a block. Play over. Okay, right there. That wrong arm from that linebacker is tremendous. I can't wait to see that matchup right there. The outside stretch zone run game and the gap scheme like counters and stuff that these guys run versus Notre Dame's front 4, but particularly those 2 linebackers, 24 and 34. I think they're going to have a day. I do. I think it's going to be an absolute war. I got like a 20-17 last possession. Who can muster a scoring drive type of football game in this one, Kirby? How do you kind of see it playing out?
It's so tough to tell at this point. I mean, I know the game's in 48 hours pretty much, but
yeah,
it's 2 offenses that aren't super flashy, kind of have ran through everyone that they faced. But then again, you look at a Notre Dame team where they've gone against a really solid defense and they weren't really able to do anything. So,
and we can say the same thing about Penn State's offensive performance against Ohio State.
Correct.
Looked really, really strugglesome.
Correct. I think it's going to boil down to which of these offenses makes mistakes the less. And that's where I'm going to favor Notre Dame. I mean, we even see it on tape. As good as Penn State played here, they still made mistakes.
Still made mistakes. Fumbles. We're about to show a brief moment of discipline, followed by 3 consecutive false starts out of 5 plays, okay? Mm-hmm. So here's what I want you to notice. I'm going to play this for you, Kirby, and I want you to tell me what's the first thing you notice here on 3rd and 8, okay? Because it stuck out like a sore thumb last night or 2 nights ago when I was watching it, okay? Watch the whole sequence, okay? I counted 4 snap counts, didn't you? Mm-hmm. I counted 4 false claps here on 3rd and 8, okay? And a pre-snap motion and a check with me. All right, so if you're this defensive line for Notre Dame, and this is where it really favors these guys because they've been disciplined as hell all year. You just got to understand, they're willing to do this. They're trying to collect as much information as they possibly can. They're not a super play-fast football team, all right? On 3rd and long, if they get to the line of scrimmage early, they're probably trying to collect as much information as they can. Do you see that sign? And I'm gonna give a little tidbit to everybody at home. There's a sign on the sideline nowadays that a lot of college football coaches are holding up. It says DJO. That stands for Do Not Jump Off Sides. They hold it up on 3rd and 9, 3rd and 5, 4th and 1. Okay, they do it on those downs. DJO, do not jump off sides. It's a very critical point or thing in this football game because they're just trying to get a free 5 yards right here, okay? I thought that was rather impressive that, they're in a neutral site football game able to go 5 hard counts right here. And I gave them the credit in the notes. Like I said, 3 out of the next 4 plays, they got false starts. He's got to make these plays Saturday. Or Thursday, I think. Okay, because they're going to cover you, they're going to rush you. You're going to have to be an ad-lib player, all right? You got to make these throws on Saturday now or Thursday. The reason I think he elevated this ball, I think he's worried about hitting the umpire right here. Watch the U-man, my umpire right here, who is always a friendly favorite of the center. If you're a center not making friends with the umpire, you're just a bad football player, man. You're not a smart guy, all right? Watch the umpire right here, Kirby, and you tell me, did he make this ball float? Because I think he does, okay? Or is this just a flat-out miss? Or did the linebacker make the ball float? Or is this a miss?
It's both.
It's both. I think it's both. All right.
I mean, he's trying to throw it over that D lineman. There's probably the umpire there, but
Bro wanted a penalty so bad. Oh, he got it. He got the hold. Back here at the line of scrimmage on this move right here from 44. He gets the linebacker. Can I get a timestamp there, Curb?
you're at 30 minutes exactly.
Oh, man. I hope y'all like these 30-minute hitters, man. I hope y'all do. I'm trying to make them more digestible for the folks that aren't Penn State fans today and aren't Notre Dame fans today. Hopefully you can still come to this channel and learn something. Y'all go to all these other channels and watch these dum-dums make takes about college football. At least watch college football and learn something from it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a hold. Going to play 25. So, I do think, again, there are some refinements to this young man's football game. Right now, I see a bunch of guys walked up on me on the line of scrimmage, right? Now, as a quarterback, in today's world, we can't assume that they're all coming. Back in the day, we just assumed blitz. Nowadays, we have to account for what, Kirby?
Who's dropping, who's flashing?
A simulated pressure, correct. We have to assume for who's dropping, who's flashing, who's deking, who's doing all that good stuff. But the moment they all confirm they are indeed rushing, we have to be hot right now. We got to be hot right now. We cannot think that we've got enough hats in this equation to block these guys. We've got 6, they're rushing 7. We have to get rid of the ball. Actually, I think we've got 5, they're rushing 6 right here. Nonetheless, we've got to be willing to check the ball down on 2nd and 9. All right, we can't be trying to get all of these yards back. We got to be willing to take what the defense is giving us, particularly this weekend when I think Notre Dame's going to be able to do this stuff to them. Again, this weekend, guys, is not what you're going to get. This weekend, you're going to get a corner walk down in the face of that guy with another defensive back playing back here ready to take the secondary guy, safety in the middle of the field, a corner walk down. All right, 2 linebackers right here, 4 down rushers. You're going to see a loaded box all night long, all right? And you're going to have to force your way to make them play zone coverage, all right, and dedicate a bunch of bodies to the pass. Otherwise, they're going to have freedom to rush like this. They have all year. They don't have a first-round edge rusher. I don't think they do. Maybe 30. In a couple of years, that big monster, number 6'8", 230 pounds, that guy might be something in terms of like a blue chip prospect. But the other guys are just hard-nosed football players that get after it. All right, so they get to the passer with extra bodies because they can cover. Now, this is a hold, but this is what I'm talking about with this Katron Allen dude. This guy's taking his job and amplifying it, okay? He is taking everybody else's job and amplifying it right here. This is a tremendous cut. It gets called back for a hold. He runs over the damn safety. He is a missile in open field as well and a real bitch to bring down. Let's look at it from the tight right here. I think the right guard gets called for a hold. But I love inside zone and outside zone running backs who set up linebackers with false jump cuts. Watch this from Katron Allen. He's going to press one hole knowing it will get the linebackers to commit to said hole, and then he's going to jump cut into another one for 6. Look at him, press, stick. All right, that's it right there, folks. That's how we run inside zone. Now, look at this right here and tell me we ain't got 2 and 1. Tell me we ain't got 2 and 1 over here. We're actually trying. 44 is trying to fill a gap right here as we're doing everything we can to turn sideways. We start seeing defensive linemen turning sideways, dropping anchor on double teams. You know what that's telling me? Tired, 1. 2, can't hold it. Can't hold it. We have gotten to the point now where we're starting to drop a knee and turn shoulder. All right. All he's trying to do is make sure that that guard doesn't get up to the linebacker, but he's going to, okay? Because that center is going to take over that full combination. Ideally, we want to 2-gap that sucker with our shoulder square. All right, if we're a big boy, we can do that. I think I'm good. You good?
Good.
All right. Actually, I want to go to this one. I want to go to this one right here because even Penn State, who is a national title contender, Final Four football team, they still lining up, surprised the dude in front of them playing football. And I see this on tape from teams not named Ohio State and Notre Dame right now. We showed it from Texas yesterday, didn't we? We showed a wide receiver from Texas going, oh, damn, that DB from Arizona State's playing football today. I am surprised. Well, here we go. We got a really, really good football player from Penn State about to motion into one of these equations, I believe. Here he comes. Come on, 44. Let's get on down. All right, here we go, 44. We're about to down block as we go truck toss. Everybody running truck toss on this channel nowadays, okay? We're trying to work to the edge, but it does not matter. It will not matter if our tight end doesn't keep his head play side on that defensive end. Now, the number one thing I would teach these guys on these down blocks on edge defenders, in man's on the line of scrimmage, right? The number one thing I would tell him, don't be shocked if he wants to play ball. If he recognizes that guys are in front of him or stepping out, guess what he's going to do? He's going to work out. So what we can't be is surprised, again, that the guy in front of us is going to be playing football. We can't be that surprised. Because on Thursday against Notre Dame, those guys know what they're doing. There is no defense in America right now playing more fast and more decisive than what Notre Dame's doing right now. So we cannot be shocked that the guy in front of us is playing ball. We all agree? All right. If you learned anything, I hope you hit that subscribe button. We're booming right now. We are on a rocket ship straight to 50,000 subscribers. Appreciate you for being here. I love you. Bye.